Hi, Julie Jones from SSP Performance, Smarter, Stronger, Better Mindset Training, here with this week's Mindset Made Simple Tip of the Week, brought to you by Game Day Sportswear and On Point Pest Prevention. Happy New Year, 2024. Did you make your resolutions yet? Whether you did or you didn't, that's okay. We're not going to talk about them today because, as we know, statistics say that 25% of us have fallen off the cart by the end of the week. So whether you made your resolutions or not, I have an idea for making 2024 better for our lives and our performance without a resolution. So my son swims and he has swimming practice for 2 hours. So I do work during that time. And then for the last half hour, I walk around the track that's at the high school where he swims. And during that time, I got the opportunity to listen to Hidden Brain. And this podcast had a guest named Dr. Fred Bryant, and what he talked about really made me stop and think. What Dr. Bryant was talking about was how we can appreciate and notice the things that happen in our lives and what that does for the way that we feel, the way that we behave, and how it influences everything else around us. What he was talking about was this. He was mentioning that we do a lot to help people learn how to manage adversity. We understand that we need to help our kids or those we lead learn how to deal with frustrations and disappointments and challenge. In fact, that's part of who we are. We know that those things we gravitate toward. We're always looking for threat. We have a negativity bias. We understand that. In fact, those things that threaten us evoke so much emotion that those are the things that we hang on to and go back to when we're in a pressure situation again. Anything that is wrought with emotion comes to the surface like that. We remember them quicker, they influence us more, and most of the things that influence us and have all that emotion surrounding them are things that have been a threat in one way or another. So we understand that it is part of our job as parents and as leaders and as coaches to help people manage bouncing back from these things or just be able to move through them. But what we don't spend a lot of time doing is helping people learn how to appreciate things. He used the example of this, is that we never sit down and teach our kids how to really enjoy an ice cream cone. We don't teach our kids how to enjoy or savor a win in a way that's going to help us in the future. We don't help those we lead appreciate small gains or little things that are making their lives pleasurable. We don't teach them how to experience joy. We think that that is just going to be taken care of. We just understand that this is how you are joyful. This is how you feel good about something. This is how you slow down and smell the roses. And why is that important? We are built just the opposite of that. We are built to survive. We are built to look for threat. We are built to look for reasons why things aren't going to work. So these opportunities to feel joy and these opportunities to experience good stuff, sometimes we have to seek them out. We have to learn how to appreciate things. Here's an example. When was the last time that you did something that you were proud of? When was the last time you did something that you were proud of? When you think about that, or when you thought about it right after it was happening, or even when it was happening, how quickly did you go to, man, if I would have done this, it would have been even better. Or I wish it was this way. Or I should have, would have, could have. We go there. We're always looking for problems. That's just who we are. What about a time that you were doing something that was exciting or fun? Or you were at a concert, right? I love going to concerts. I have a few artists that I will go to every time they're in town, or even will travel to go to. This summer we saw Brandi Carlile and Pink, and it was amazing. But when I go to concerts, I often am thinking, is she going to play this? How much longer do we have? Oh my gosh, we only have like 10 minutes left. And here I am worrying about the time and not enjoying the music. How often do you do that? How often have you had something that you're like, oh, this is great, but what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? That's what we do to ourselves. So we spend a lot of time helping people learn how to get out of or manage things that are hard, but we don't. We don't talk about how can we truly appreciate things and what will that appreciation do for us in our performance. I had the opportunity to experience 2 times where I actually savored. And that's what Dr. Bryant was talking about, savoring. The act of savoring, let me see if I can find the definition, is the capacity to attend to, appreciate, and enhance the positive experiences in one's life. So we can either go with woulda, shoulda, couldas, I wish, or what's going to happen next, or oh my gosh, if I could do this, then it would be even better. We can do that, which is our normal pathway to experience, or we can learn to savor things. 2 things jump out at me this past week in my ability to actually savor something. So my son is into rocks. He's 11, right? One thing you know when you're a parent is that all of a sudden you have rocks inside your house. This is just a part of normal parenting. But he got a prospector's kit, a really cool pickaxe and different things in this really cool bag for Christmas from one of our friends. And we went to our beautiful Metro Parks, the Summit County Metro Parks. And don't worry, Lisa King, who is the executive director, we didn't destroy anything, but we are on the hunt for rocks. We went for 3 days, 3 different days. We went out and we went to a quarry and we went to the riverbed and we went to all these different places looking for treasure. And during that time, it doesn't seem like it'd be very exciting, of course, but it was awesome. We were out in nature. Our weather has been amazing in Ohio at Christmas, although I'd really like to have some snow. And see, there I did it. There I did it right there. But it was amazing. My son was so excited, and we were this and that, and look at this, and oh my gosh, this is so cool. And I just soaked it up. In the past, I would have said, oh, we're not walking fast enough, or we didn't walk far enough, or we didn't get in enough exercise, or what if we would have gone here? It probably would have been better, or we probably could have done this in our backyard. That is me a lot when we're doing things. But this time, I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed the beauty. I enjoyed the treasures. I enjoyed the excitement. And then we got home and we relived that excitement because we told about our expedition and our stories and showed the rocks that we got and thought about what they're going to look like in the rock tumbler that his Aunt Julie got him for Christmas, and all these other things where this experience was amazing. And we felt so good. And even today, I think, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go back. So I'm savoring what I'm looking forward to go back and do this again and take my niece and nephew this week. I savored it then, and I savored it what we did after. So I am just releasing endorphins and endorphins and endorphins every time I live through this again. So I appreciated what was going on around me. I had another experience. I was walking a dog just yesterday, experiencing something inside. So we can savor things that are outside of us, and we can savor experiences inside. Maybe that would be pride of accomplishing something, or just something that we really, really, really cherish. I was walking along and for some reason thinking about my teachers and my coaches from high school and how much of an impact they had on my life. And then I started to think about the relationships that we built. And they both gave me, at 2 different times, engraved pens. I have engraved pens, and of course this isn't it, but both of them gave me a pen for 2 different experiences. One was for graduation. The other was when I was named Coach of the Year. And I cherish both of those. And I thought, man, it's not really about the gift, but it was about the ability to build these relationships and the impact that they had on my lives in high school and well beyond to this day. And I thought, man, what awesome experiences. And I was savoring things that meant something to me. So both of these experiences took me directly to think about the thing that we talk about a lot with is our highlight reel, and experiencing what's going on in the past, or what has gone on in the past, and reliving it today, and how much that can help us. We know, researchers say, that our mind wanders 47% of the time. This savoring is about being present and mindful. That is the key to performance. That is the key to being happy. These researchers also found that when our mind is wandering, we aren't as happy. The bottom line is that it's a nice way to say that we aren't paying attention. When we're not paying attention, we aren't as happy. How many times in your lives, in your day, in the next hour, will you be wishing for something else instead of just doing what's right in front of you or appreciating what's right in front of you, whether it's your kids or your team or your job or what's on television or what you're listening to? We wander and we're not as happy and we're not as good. So what can we do? Well, we can pull out the highlight reel. We can appreciate what is going on right now and learn to manage that first so the next thing is better. Jason Selk, the author of Executive Toughness, talks about in building our confidence and improving our performance by reliving things that have been really good to us or good for us. And he says, remembering a successful moment is a great confidence boosting technique. Recalling a past performance in the present allows us to relive the same full range of emotion that we experienced when we performed the feat at the time. I wasn't reliving performance. I was reliving relationship and an experience that meant something to me. And I bet you that my emotions were even greater than they were at that time. Now, granted, when I got the Coach of the Year pen, I was just filled with pride. And even today, it's a different kind of feeling, but it's so touching because my coach isn't here anymore. And I have the pen and I know that she was proud. That's cool. That's cool stuff. I let myself experience it again. I hope that we can teach those that we lead to let them experience what's gone well for them too, because we know that we are tied and we carry along all the crap and all the things that didn't go right. And that's what we go to because it's tied with emotion. But if we can relive and experience what's going on right now so we can relive it later, if we don't experience it now, how can we relive it later? My son will talk about going and finding rocks decades from now because we experienced it and we savored it at the moment. A 17th century writer, and I can't say his name, Francois is his first name, and we're just going to go with that. Happiness does not consist in things themselves, but in the relish we have of them. Happiness does not consist of things themselves, but of the relish we have of them. It's about experience things. It's about shutting off the storyteller. It's about shutting off the comparer. It's about shutting off the judge and being where our cleats are or being where our boots are and appreciating it. Dr. Bryant says the savoring is always in the here and now. The feeling now when you look back and the feeling now when you look forward, end quote. We're experiencing our excitement about what might happen. You know how good that feels. Sometimes the excitement we feel about what might happen is actually better than when we get there, because when we get there, we're comparing and judging and doing all these things. And when we're thinking about what might happen, we're just thinking about the good stuff and how excited we are about it. We have a tendency to ruin our own experience by storytelling, comparing, and judging. And then we are savoring in the now when we're thinking about what has happened in the past, the good stuff. And we can fill those spots of mind wandering with this instead of all the baggage that we carry along. It's mental time travel for sure. And it's really not at times being in the present like we need to be to perform, but it is enhancing our well-being. It is flooding our system with good stuff, and we get to control it. And it's not about a big, huge win. We think a big, huge win, just like Michigan's win last night. It's a big, huge win. And we think that that's going to fill us up for a really long time. But it's not about the big things. It's like what John Wooden said. Little things make big things happen. That big win fills our tank, we think. But in all reality, our tank leaks. And we use a lot of fuel on the road that's bumpy and curvy and windy and messed up. So we have to have all these little infusions, little things to refill our tank. It's the little things. It's about slowing down and observing the landscape, just like we do when we perform. It's about appreciating what we're doing right now, not rushing through to the next thing, because if we rush through this, the next thing is not going to be as good. This is what I need in my life. I don't know about you, But the challenge is, can we savor more? Can we be present more? Can we experience things and appreciate and look for good things more in 2024? I'm a poet and I don't know it. I need this. This is a challenge to all of us. Can we, instead of thinking, oh my gosh, I wish we were walking faster, or we need to walk further, can we stop and look at rocks? Can we, when we're walking the dog, can we listen for nature? Can we look and think, oh, he's so cute, instead of saying, come on, we gotta go? Can we listen to our kids even when we can't stand talking about stupid games? But they love them. And if we listen, it makes a difference. Can we appreciate things that we have improved upon and look back at those and relish them so that we can do it again and we can set our brain up to do it again? I have something else that I know I needed to say, but I don't know where it is. There is one more quote. Here it is. No day comes twice. Each moment savored more precious than a span of jade. We have to experience things because nothing happens again. We know this. We talk about it all the time. We talk about it especially when the new year comes around. I challenge you, and I love for someone to hold me accountable to this, to experience and appreciate and notice improvement and take that as a win, a small step, and manage what's right in front of us and appreciate that so that the next step is better. That's what we're looking for. We're looking to get better every moment and every day. But if we're not living in the moment, then we have missed an opportunity. And who knows what how that opportunity would have propelled us forward. So my challenge to myself and to you is, how can we savor more? How can we use our little wins to fuel a fire? How can we use the little experiences to keep us moving forward? Because we know that positive emotion is one of the biggest predictors of peak performance. And if we can savor and appreciate, we will be better. Happy New Year. I wish you a great 2024, and I would love to work with you or your team or whoever it is that you lead, because I know together we can improve our performance. Manage the moments, appreciate them, and have a great week.